Alright, scoot my chair.
Welcome back to this, where I don't remember what I'm doing. I opened up Sen's Fortress. What was I doing? Oops. Hold on, what was I doing? What? What am I even wearing? Oh, my sword's up. I need the very large ember, actually, which is down in the New Londo ruins. Yeah, I'll go get that. Well, welcome back. I haven't played in a couple weeks, so forgive me for not remembering what's going on. I just was looking up stuff about like how the algorithm works, which is not my preferred method. But according to that, because so my first video got 1 view, and I realized that's just me. I watched it very briefly to make sure that it looked fine. And that one got a second like impression, which means that YouTube put it in front of someone. Or 2 people or something. And that's interesting because the second one has gotten no views and no impressions. Like, it hasn't been sent out to anybody, which means YouTube didn't care about it, which is fine. But I was like, okay, so why was that? Because I had a YouTube channel before this when I was like 13 or something, so quite a few years ago. And the videos on that one used to get like 50 views. It wasn't a lot, but it was, you know, it was getting views. But the content I made was very, very different. Oh god, I forgot about you. I usually deal with you so much earlier in the game that dealing with you now is abnormal. Okay. Bye, buddy. I've been playing a different game as well, so. But it's kind of disheartening to know that my earlier videos when I was younger, they did well, whereas these ones don't. And the reason for that is because those videos were... Oh, fuck, I forgot to do the thing. Those videos were energetic and, not necessarily more fun than these, but they were more, like, upbeat, and I, you know, made more clickbaity titles, and I, as of yet, have not been thinking in that way. Basically, I gotta cheer up and make titles that YouTube likes, which is fine. That's no big deal. I hadn't been doing it because, well, this is more for me than it is for views or anything, but at the same time, what's the point of doing it if it's not going to mean anything? And there is validity in doing things just for fun, that's true, but it's weird. There's not really... What? I can't live off of fun, right? And I have a full-time job that I do that, you know, is fine. It pays my bills. It's actually quite a good job that I have. It's not like the highest paying job or anything, but it definitely makes ends meet and so on. But the problem is... Oh god, oh god, oh god, okay, I forgot what kind of game I was playing. Oh fuck! I'm playing a different game. Okay. Set this down. Let's do it again. I took like 30 minutes, calm down. Actually, let's keep this stuff on. Really, really angry about that, but it's fine. The problem is I'm not really upset about that particularly. I mean, I am. But, like, whatever. I agreed to that. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. What's bothering me more, what has upsetted me, is the algorithm thing that I was talking about. Because looking at the math, it's no fun. It's not math that I'm gonna have trouble with. I understand how it all works. But it's not math that's any fun. Right? It's about making a good title and having a good thumbnail, using tags correctly, and consistency, which means consistency of content and upload times. But the thing is, I am not a consistent individual. I'm not, I can do this, you know, whatever. But I eventually do want to do something else. I don't want to just keep doing that. Or this, I mean. So, the question is, how long before this content wears thin on my end, and how long before it starts to pay off? Because once I have a handful of subscribers, not many, I would say maybe even just 10, then I can change content on occasion, because I'm not reliant on the algorithm to crunch the numbers. I'm not reliant on the algorithm to crunch the numbers. The people... Did I open this while I was down here? I did, okay. The people can, you know, sort of take care of that. As long as the couple people that are subscribed are providing good analytics for me to use, I don't care. I'll adjust my content accordingly. One of the things is that I know people don't like content that isn't fun and energetic, which is not the content that I make. Ow, rude. I make content that is thinky. Oops. Wrong attack. I wanted this one. There we go. I make thinky content, where it's me running through a game that I know well enough that I don't have to think too much about, and just do it. I just say words, and the game happens, and it's fine. But the content that does well is things where it's new. Ow, okay, glad I missed. New every time. And, yeah. Basically the opposite of what I'm doing right now. Which is fine, because part of what I have to do, and what the stuff I was looking at was saying, was find your niche and be consistent. So play the same thing over and over again, so that people can basically find the content that they want, the algorithm knows who to suggest it to, and so on. Because so the way that algorithms work, and as far as I can tell the way that this algorithm works, is it's looking for what the people are responsive to. It's trying to find what people like, so it's finding archetypes and patterns. So what it's identifying is you watch a video, and it will suggest that more of that video, or that type, stuff that it has identified as being within that same range, or what have you. And that's all well and good. But that doesn't work for a lot of people, because a lot of people like different things. Like, I often watch educational videos, because I like them. But I also watch a lot of mindless entertainment, which is the majority of what entertainment seems to be, as far as I can tell. It's mindless. Mindless entertainment. Which is all well and good. But YouTube, the algorithm doesn't really suggest to that very well. It more just suggests whatever I was most recently watching, and goes from there. It doesn't really have a whole lot to go off of. So if I suddenly change what I'm watching from educational videos to mindless entertainment, or vice versa, it gets hung up and it suggests a combination of the two, but it's not really sure which one it should be opting for more. So it struggles. Okay. It's fine. But that's why I'm making this video today, even though I don't necessarily want to be. Ugh, I have to do this all again. And I have to make a new one, because you can only have up to... Shit. I am having a wonderful time. There we go. Even though I, that's whatever, just delete the top one. I would rather be playing something else. I've been playing, what's it called? Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, which I would like to be playing right now rather than this. And I did go and acquire it on the computer such that I could do that. Why am I doing that again? Okay, there we go. I'm doing that out of habit, because I usually play the game very differently. But instead, I have to play this because this is what I made. This was the first video, and it will be the videos I continue to make until something starts to gain traction. I'm gonna have to figure out how to sort of convince the algorithm to start sending these videos to people, to get them to click them and so on, which means I might have to, I don't know. I don't know what one should do in that case. I could be a lot more energetic, I'm perfectly capable of it. It's just not generally my way of being. I like to think. I like to consider the way of things and talk about them, rather than add to the mindless masses. But I'm also not here to... this channel in my mind... Weirdly, right, so originally, the very intent of this was to act as like a podcast thing, but what I found is that as I'm doing it, it's not so much that, though it does function that way in a lot of instances, but it's more of a bridging between the mindless entertainment that is gaming and comedy YouTube, and the philosophical and shall we say worldly side of YouTube that exists, or content in general, I suppose. That's kind of what I've made. Which is interesting, and I think it's because at work I am a positive, upbeat, jokey type person, so maybe my content will change and become more positive, upbeat, and jokey as my interactions at work change as a result of what my workload is and is not. Because it has been becoming way more serious at work, which I honestly prefer, because if you're at work, you're at work. Do work. You know, not saying don't have fun, but navigating the complexities of socializing is, well, complex, and not something that I really want to do while I'm at work. I'm not a particularly social individual. That's why this channel doesn't have any friends to go with it, does it? No, because I'm not looking to socialize with people. I do have a social need as a human. But I think what'll make the biggest difference is changing how I do my titles so that they are not clickbaity, but more less dry. So the titles I've been making, and I should have thought about this, have been very dry. This has been kind of just, here's what it is. Which is interesting because that's not what I like to do anyway. I like to make weird things and consider, but the problem is I've been too busy with work and stuff to really do that. So in this weird roundabout way, my content has been hindered by the fact that I haven't been doing not what I prefer to do. With no real reason for that, other than because I guess I was tired or what have you. Which is interesting. Okay, I knew I missed one when I came through here before. There we go. But it's strange to think about that. It's strange to think about a lot of things. Thinking as the very core activity that it is inherently kind of strange. I missed this one as well. And I have unmissed it. Keep moving. I don't want to do this all again. Ugh. Horribly, horribly inconvenient. Hopefully that drug a bunch of them up there, or dragged, or whatever. There we go. You know what? You know what? That's a good point. I don't want to do a deathless run. I don't. I want to just play Dark Souls the way that I like to play Dark Souls. Which is difficult and annoying, but I like to play Dark Souls this way. Or do I? Do I want to do deathless? That's the thing, isn't it? I have to decide what I want to do. Right, I have to make... I don't have to, but I should make the content that I want to make. Do I want to make a deathless run? I think I would like to complete one, but I don't know that I want to go through all the way just trying over and over to make one. But the way that I usually like to play Dark Souls is without poise or armor, because I find that an enjoyable challenge to minimize your deaths, not completely remove them, because death is part of how this game tends to work. But at the same time, it was quite fun to find myself getting very far without dying. Huh. Interesting. Interesting to consider. I don't know. What? The question is, what am I going to enjoy, and therefore other people will enjoy watching? Because I realize, weirdly, there is a lot of content that I enjoy watching, but I would not enjoy making. But the people who make it enjoy making it. And that's the thing, isn't it? There are multiple types of people, and some varieties of people. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. Okay, let me go fix that. And some types of people like watching people suffer in this way. And I am such that I prefer to watch people enjoy themselves. I don't like watching people have a bad time. I like causing people... What is this? Is this just a normal exit that I never take? It is. Okay. But I like causing people mild inconveniences thereof. You know, I like to give people a hard time. But I don't like to actually make people have a bad time. I like making people have a fun time at their own expense, so to speak. So, what does that mean for the content being created? I don't know. I guess it means that I need to find the kind of content that I enjoy making. Algorithm be damned, and I need to make that. So I suppose this will be one more Dark Souls video of this variety, and then I will probably play a different game, even though suggestions are not to do that. Because I need the algorithm to pick up and run. That is true. But this isn't my job. I have a job. I do this because I want to do this. So I should do the bits that I like, the bits that I want to do, and there will be some things that I will have to knuckle down and do, like whatever the recommendation is of one video a week at least, I think. Try and be consistent in that way. That's true. But what do I... Oops, wrong button. But what do I want to make content-wise? In all honesty, I quite like playing Dark Souls. It is quite fun. But do I want to just play Dark Souls? No. So what kinds of games, then, is it that I'm wanting to play? The way I describe this game is it's a game with good tete-a-tete style combat, where it's give and take, it's one-to-one. So I like Souls-like games. I would probably like Sekiro, for example, and that would still fall within this vein. But truest form of consistency would be to play just Dark Souls every time. But also, consistency in naming convention could likely make up for a change in specific content. because I would like to be what one would call a variety channel at the end of the day. So I need to make... Well, the interesting thing is that the channel I used to run when I was younger, it was often... excuse me. It was often... Flash games. In fact, one of the videos that I made was on a game called... Okay, that'll work. Can I keep the gloves on? No. Can I keep the hat on? Yes. It was a game called Cellcraft. I quite enjoyed that. There's another game... There's another game I would like to play. I haven't played it in a long time. I have to see if it even still exists. If I can even find it again. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. It was a game where you were... It was like a zombie wave survival game, but an old one where kind of... I like roguelike games a lot. I could play Rogue Legacy. You know, I should branch out some. I've decided I should do that. I'll get these videos down, and I hope you can't hear the dog snoring right next to me. That's kind of fun. But I'll get this video, and there's two more. There's one that's going up right now. Whoops. There's one that's going up right now that I need to put a thumbnail on. So it'll be 5 videos, and then I'll switch. And I might do it like that. I might do 5 videos, and then 5 more videos, and just do 5 video sets of different games. I might do that. With, you know, this is a long-standing thing that I come back to intermittently, until eventually I succeed. Did I get... Huh. Sure did. Neat. Anyway. So I guess I have to decide what the next video I want to make is. Then, because this is 5. This will be my 5th one. And if I do that, I'll do... I'll get all those uploaded, and I will start editing and scheduling them to be uploaded. Every Wednesday? Wednesday's a good day. I don't know why. I like Wednesday. It's like that's my favorite day of the week, and I think it's because I used to run D&D games on Wednesdays after my classes. I should get back to that. I could record those. I have a lot of things to consider. I'll have to, if I do, for whatever reason, do D&D based stuff, I'd have to put it on its own separate channel. I know that. Not that that's a problem. I've got, like, 3, 4, something like that. Because I realize that you can change your channel name. But I didn't realize that until after I'd already made this one, so... You know. I will get myself killed. You can't stop me. Oh, really? Oh, easy fix. I should probably get some people to talk to while I do this, as well get a second voice in here from time to time. Not sure who I would do so with. The only friend I have that I can convince to do it with is, not somebody I would particularly want to do this kind of thing with. Not because there's anything wrong with them, it's just not my cup of tea, you could say. Send that up to 20 and put one of them into endurance. There we go, and that's the sword back in working order. So I'll run this video into the hour mark for this run. I have, oops. Really, that's weird. Isn't the mace I was just holding? Yeah, okay, it's 4. That's interesting. I would have thought. Oh well. You know what? I bet what I can do is this now. Yeah. Which I don't know if that's better. Let's see. It's 83 versus 79. So it is better. By a couple points. But there's not a whole lot of people I would want to make content with. I don't know that I'd want to put it on this channel or not, anyway. What's interesting as well is that I'm gonna go down here. YouTube is sort of dying. It's not really YouTube as a whole, I don't wager. But the very concept of making money from entertainment, the entertainment business is sort of dying presently. And at least in America it is, as far as I can tell. And my best guess as to why is because, and I could be entirely wrong about that. You know, it's hard to say. But my best guess as to why is the fact that, by and large, the American economy is based on advertising, which is how things like, you know, entertainment stuff gets its money, but it's not based on production. Which, the problem is that if you, in a similar way to the way that stocks and cryptocurrencies work, the problem is that if your money is based on nothing, essentially, then it isn't. If your money is based on nothing, it is worth nothing, because the way that things have value, and this was easier to observe during the time of the bartering system, before currency was popularized at all. If what you have does not do anything for the individual who it is being offered to, then it doesn't do anything at all. And so, money is all well and good for the most part, because for the most part, money has a value of some variety. But what about people who don't care about money? Or what about when that money... Whew, hold on. How much does that weigh? 14? I was gonna be thrilled if I could do that. It's 20, which means ouch. Which means 20 times 4 is... $80? Noted. I need a carry of 80 to wear this, which I'm going to get. I'm going to get a carry of 80. Oops. Speaking of... Hold on, no. I have a carry of 52, which means my max is... Okay. Cool. So, but I need a carry of 80 to wear that, which I will do, because that's actually pretty good armor. Yep, I got one. There we go. But that's the problem of, like, the way that the world sort of works in general right now, is because everything is nothing based on nothing. Right, stocks are a visualization or a virtualization of projected value, which the only value that it has is actually based on how much people buy it for. And the projected value is sort of the average of how much people are selling it for versus how much people are buying it for. That's kind of how that works, is my understanding. I was fairly good with... Oh, cool, I got the waistcloth I wanted, actually. It's pretty good. I was pretty good with stocks. I did them for a little bit, but never to any large avail, just because I didn't really... I find it hard to be motivated to do things that mean nothing. Which is sort of where I fall off with this, is that I also struggle to find anything to mean anything. Because it doesn't. If you stop and pay attention, at the end of the day, nothing really means anything. You need things because you want them. And basically what that means is that in the same way that stocks have value, everything has value in sort of that way, except for the fact that it is assumed... Man. Wild. But it is assumed that things like food, because you need them to live, and it is assumed that people want to live, that those things have inherent value that is immutable. But that's not true. For example, you need food to live, that much is true. But even if you need it, there are a lot of people who simply won't eat a lot of different foods, and those foods, as a result, are not valuable, even though they are still foods and therefore still should be inherently just as valuable as ever. And foods that a lot of people won't eat because they have a lot of value, everyone wants to eat even if they don't like them. This isn't as true these days as the stereotypes used to hold, but caviar is a good example, right? And you see this in a lot of shows. I personally have seen this in anyways. I don't know if it is as common or if it is simply my experience, but basically, the joke is always that whatever character gets the opportunity to eat this fancy food of whatever variety, so they eat it, but they don't like said fancy food. So they don't buy that food again later, even though it was really fancy, it was really expensive. They weren't actually interested in the fancy, expensive food. They were interested in the fact that it was expensive, and so they bought it, even though they didn't end up liking it at all. Which is something that I think a lot of people don't think about, is that things are only as valuable as what people are willing to pay. And that's sort of a key thing in a lot of finance stuff, is basically don't overcharge. Or maybe charge even more than you think you should, because people will pay as much as you charge. Well, but all of this, what it means is that what anything means to anyone has no bearing on its value, or has no bearing on its outward value, only its inbound value. Which is to say that if I'm selling something that is very important to me, I'm going to charge a lot for it. That is its outward value, how much I am charging. But how much someone is paying, how much they're giving me, is the only bit that actually matters. Weirdly, because, again, if we look at how stocks work, the more you charge for something, the more it is worth. As long as you can get people to buy it. So you can't overcharge by too much, but you do have to overcharge. People will not buy things that are not overpriced. People will buy a lot of things that are. So, for example, McDonald's food. It is horrendously overpriced comparatively to what you're actually eating. But imagine if it costed as much for you to buy it as it was actually worth for them to make it. Not many people would buy it. That's just a fact. It's just the way that humans work. A good example of this is one person I went on a trip with at one point. He, why is that one not lit? Light. Light. I don't know if I can light it. Nope. But he was with someone who was trying to sell stuff at like a Renaissance fair type thing, or a farmer's market, whatever. And he had this, like, ornate, I think it was a vase, if I remember correctly. And he was charging a reasonable price for it. No one was buying it. So apparently, he told the guy to raise the price on it once the crowd died down. And he did. He, like, doubled the price. And sure enough, next time people came through, they bought it. Because it was underpriced before. People assume that there's something wrong with something when it's underpriced. It's undervalued. Well, in my case, to sort of tie this all back to the very concept of what is it that I want to do with this thing that has no value, and how do I value it? The value of this is not based on the value that it has, not in my mind. It is instead based on its purpose. And that's sort of why I stopped making videos for a few weeks, even though no one would have noticed, because there are no views. Right? I'm literally talking to myself right now, and I know that. But it's because I realized that that one view was for me and not from anybody else. So the purpose, there was none, because there was no audience. I was talking, or still am talking, to myself. Even if this doesn't make any money, which it doesn't. That's not the point. The point is that I'm making content to hopefully, positively impact somebody's life, which is the reason a lot of people do it. But if there is no audience, then there is no positive impact. There is no impact at all. There's no audience. It means nothing and matters to no one. So the only reason I'm making this is because in theory it has value to me. But it doesn't have value to me. Not inherently, not exactly. Because the only value it could have to me is based on my enjoyment for the very notion of recording, which is not inherently invalid. You know, it is not that I do not like recording at all. I do. There is some level of enjoyment there. But it is not enough to keep me coming back, because there are a lot of things I enjoy more. For example, I'm quite enjoying playing Dragon's Dogma, but I can't record that. I can now that it's on my computer, but that would have invalidated the very algorithm thing, which is where this whole conversation sort of stemmed from, was me considering the very notion of why I do this, and what the content is that I want to make, and why. And if the purpose is to positively impact lives, but there is no life to positively impact because nobody is watching the videos, then the only life to impact is mine. So then, I need to make what I want to make. That's sort of the key. That's about the same. Hold on. Glad I'm small. There we go. Undulate. But so that means I need to make the content I want to make. So what is the content I want to make? I don't really want to play more of Dragon's Dogma. I'm playing it on my own time. I don't want to run 2 files, so I want to play a different game. But I want to play a new game. I don't often play new games. So I don't want to play this, I don't want to play that. I don't necessarily find that I'm too interested in most new games, is the problem, because I like the old things that I was doing quite a lot. You know, I play these games because these are the games that I like. Right. So, what can I even play that somehow is what I want to play? While a motorbicycle. Oh, you're still alive. How dare? Oops, I'm out of fire. That's fine. Oh, I'm actually quite hurt. I didn't realize I was quite so hurt. So how do I appease all of these concepts? I don't know yet. I aim to find out. My first thought is to play Rogue Legacy 2. That's probably going to be my next game, and I might even play that immediately after this. Because that's not a game I've played before. But I played, to no end, Rogue Legacy 1. So I might play Rogue Legacy 2. And I am playing this as a roguelike game currently, so maybe it will still qualify? Though I don't think it will, because I don't think the algorithm is going to know that I am playing it that way. Unless I change the name, which I could do. I could change it to... I should change all my titles. Nobody's seen them yet. So clearly they're not doing anything for anyone, or they don't mean anything to anyone. So there's no harm in changing them. No one would even know that I changed them, other than the fact that I've now announced repeatedly that I would in fact be changing them. But even so, does it matter? I don't think so. Even professional YouTubers change the names of their videos all the time. So I don't know. I still have to make it so that I don't have to do much editing, because I don't like that part. This is part of why I made long-form content. Which I was under the impression that long-form was about 30 minutes to an hour or more. Short-form is about, you know, I'd say 5 minutes. And then sort of everything in between that I would call sort of medium form, I guess. I don't know. I'm also probably going to make these videos closer to 30 minutes from here on, because 30 minutes is about when my brain tops out. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Drop them down to 30 minutes, I think. But I am going to go kill the... Oops, not Kindle. Reverse Howling, that's the one. I'm going to go kill the Moonlight Flutterby right now. My Rogue Legacy ones will definitely be about 30 minutes, almost certainly. Because just the type of content that is, it's much faster and it's going to frustrate me a lot more quickly. Also, 30-minute videos one day a week, or not one day, yeah, one day a week, isn't bad at all. I could even be convinced to watch the whole 30-minute video to edit it, whereas I do not find myself inclined to watch these. I try to edit them immediately after so that I don't have to. I know where the cuts need to go. In this case, I don't really need many cuts. I paused the recording such that I wouldn't need to make any cuts. But I was about to just switch over to Dragon's Dogma in the middle of the video. I decided not to because, well, switching the game would make the title very weird. And anyone who wants to watch, you know, when I do Dragon's Dogma, they're not going to want to watch through Dark Souls. They're going to want to watch Dragon's Dogma. So it's kind of rude, you know, to make the content that people are looking for over top of or behind or whatever, content that they're not looking for. So I figure I shouldn't do that. Hi. Come on. Do you blink? You do blink. Weird. Do you also blink? You do also blink. Neat. You definitely don't blink when you're hollow. You don't even have eyelids, so... But I also don't mind watching my content in the way that I have it set up. I don't mind... I do kind of like, considerational type, content stuff that's thinking, and that's the whole point. I figure I'll just block. unless it's that one. It's blocking that one's like impossible. And you'll still die. I hate that you're there. She straight up just blocked my path so that I couldn't get out of the way of that attack. Which is atrocious. Anyway, that's that done. Thanks. Give me humanity and we'll be on our way. 10,000 souls, humanity, and so on. Perfect. But it does, I still haven't exactly answered the question of what the content is that I want to make. Because the content that I want to make doesn't necessarily accomplish the goal that I want to accomplish. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to play Rogue Legacy 2, and I'm going to try, I think, to find free games to play as well. Because that just seems right to me. I like free games. I like playing games that people can easily access and play. Not that it's hard to get, say, this game for free anyway. It's an old game, which is the other reason I like to play old games, is because, you know, generally speaking, nobody's going to get particularly bent out of shape for you playing an old game or getting an old game for free, because they're not still selling it. It's abandonware at that point, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can give you the divine number. I don't really want it, but, I mean, like, I don't want to make divine weaponry. But, I don't know. Have I hit an hour yet? Not quite. Not that I'm in a particular hurry to hit an hour, I just... I want to turn the AC back on in here, and I want to finish editing a video so that I've done productive things today. Which is the other thing, is I need to feel productive, and one of the things that you can do to feel productive would be, like, cleaning, which is the thing I need to do. But for whatever reason, cleaning is one of those things that I can't do. I can do it, but it doesn't ever feel particularly productive to me. It's not something that I find in any way satisfying to accomplish, which some people do, and good for those people. I am not one such person. In fact, I am such a person that I would rather just have nothing and need nothing, so that I need not tend to anything. Which is not necessarily a great method. According to a lot of people, I suppose. But I think I might also play Dragon's Dogma on here. Not today. Maybe once I finish the playthrough that I'm currently doing. Like I beat the game. I'll play it. But not right now. Doesn't really feel like a game to play concurrent so much. It feels like a game you kind of play one play at a time. Just like this game, like you don't really play this game concurrent. Like you might in things like ow, that hurt. What's that game? Minecraft and other things like that. You'll have multiple worlds. But I've never been such a person to play games in multitude, like concurrent. Ooh, I got the Channeler's Trident. Is that any good? Oh, it's an intelligence scaling weapon. Interesting. What? What does that do? So is that good for like multiplayer then, or? Weird. It's a spear. Huh. If I wanted to use a spear, I'd use this one. Even though the Channeler's Trident has way lower energy consumption. But anyway, here's my longsword back. And I guess I'm gonna call it, well, not quite there. I'm gonna at least get back to the bonfire. Upgrade my sword a couple times. Because I can get another Titanite shard or two and still upgrade it. Oh yeah, I've got all these soul items, don't I? Oh no, did I use them all? Oh, I used all of them, even the soul of the butterfly. Interesting, I didn't think I had done that. Whatever. Means I need a couple more souls to be able to do it twice. I guess I can go try to kill the Titanite demon down the way. That'll give me what I need. Let's give him a couple swings, we'll see how much damage he takes. Not enough. Yeah, not enough. Okay, then I'll just buy one and upgrade once. Because if I buy the next one... Oh no, I can do both. Cool. I misdid my math. And there we go. And we'll call it there. Well, I hope to anyone who does eventually watch these videos that they find them positive in some way, insightful, I don't know, but positive in some form. And, yeah. You'll see what next game I decide to play. But, have fun.